Welcome back for another book talk. Today is Tuber Tuesday, and I am very happy to talk to you about what's going on. I have decided, after taking a break from the TBR in April, that it is time to once again set a goal with TBR. So here's my list of the books that I want to read in May. I've decided that the best number for me to set as a goal for a month is 8. I like the number of 8 books to read because I feel like that's something that fits the book battle really well. I can create 2 brackets of 4 and have them square off against each other. But also that just seems to be a number that I've gotten comfortable with that I feel like I can read. Just about a book and a half each week. First, there's a book that Close to the Bone Publishing Company sent me an ebook copy of called Benediction for a Thief. Looks really good. I want to read it and review it. Hellbound Books, another publishing company, has sent me Roadkill Volume 5, collection of Texas horror stories. I'm looking forward to reading that and reviewing it. I read from the Wheel of Time books 1 and 2. I started book 3, but I haven't really gotten into the meat of it, so I need to finish book 3. I'd also like to read books 4 and 5. And that will be 5 books for the month. For my 6th book, I'm looking at reading the sequel to The Thing in the Woods, and the author, Matthew W. Quinn, was kind enough to send me the sequel so that I could review it. And then in my spots for books number 7 and 8, I can use the Booktube Spin. Here's the deal. People have started posting videos about the Booktube Spin number 2 in the last couple of days, and I believe that number will be determined on April 28th. But I have to tell you, I missed out on Booktube Spin number 1. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to have 21 books that I put together. And from those 21 books, I'm going to use whatever number 1 Booktube Spin 1 as a book that I am going to read for the month to fill up that 7th slot that I have. And then whatever book comes out, that'll leave 20 books remaining. And then from that list, whatever number wins Booktube Spin number 2 will be my 8th book. That means for this video, I can go ahead and figure out what book won Booktube Spin 1. So let me take a break and I will be back. Alright, I'm back from my break. I realized that I had not mentioned the Booktube Spin idea was something that Rick McDonald came up with. I'll put links down in the description below. The Booktube Spin number 1 took place at the end of January this year. I missed out on that, but I'm going to catch up on it now. So here are my 21 books that I've put together for my list. Clearly, number 21 can't win the first spin, because the spin is numbers 1 through 20. But once I pull out the winner from spin number 1, then book 21 will have a chance, because each thing after whatever wins is going to go down a number. Alright, the first book in my list is The Emotion Thesaurus, and that is a book that was made to help writers to understand nonverbals, to understand actions associated with different emotions. That helps writers to deal with the show versus tell issue. Book number 2 is Bird by Anne Lamott, which I have been told is a highly recommended book for writers, supposedly about on the same level as Stephen King's On Writing when it comes to giving advice. Number 3 is Creating Character Arcs, which is another book I was recommended for writers. And then number 4 is The Artful Edit, which is a book to help you to understand how to edit. Number 5 is the Self-Editing for Fiction Writers book, which again is something that I could read to help me with editing my own work before showing it to other people. Book number 6 is Revision and Self-Editing. You see a pattern there. Those first 6 books are all writing books. Book number 7 there is Stephen King's The Gunslinger. I have not been shy about the fact that I want to start that series, the Dark Tower series. And then for 8, 9, and 10, I have the autobiography of James T. Kirk, followed by the autobiography of Jean-Luc Picard and the autobiography of Catherine Janeway. Those are fictional autobiographies, of course, created from the Star Trek universe. They look and sound really interesting to me. Book number 11 is the fantasy classic Watership Down, the story of a bunch of rabbits. It is supposedly really good. And then for number 12, I put in the prequel for The Wheel of Time because I don't know when to read the prequel for The Wheel of Time. I've already read books 1 and 2, so one of my friends who's read the whole series said it's safe to read the prequel after the first couple books. Though I've heard different recommendations online, whether you should wait until after book 5 or 6, or read it in order of publication, which would be around book 10. I don't know. But if the spin tells me to read it, I'll read it. For number 13, I've got The Legend of Eli Monpress, which I want to read because it's supposedly a really good roguish character, though I believe that edition has multiple books bound inside of it. And then I've got a book that's hard to read, The Something Kindness of Magicians. I'll throw it up on the screen so you get the real title. I don't know much about that book, but I remember seeing at least 2 people on YouTube that recommended it. And then a book that I have really been wanting to read from Margaret Pennard, The Keening, which is book 1 in her historical fiction trilogy. In fact, from Margaret Pennard beyond, the rest of these books are all books by YouTubers, authors that happen to have some sort of presence on YouTube. The Elysian Prophecy, let's see, that's number 16. 100 Days of Sunlight is 17. Matthew Colville's book Thief is number 18. The collection from HorrorTube, Local Haunts, is number 19. Kayla Frost's book Escape Reality is number 20. And then Michael Evans' book Mad World, which is the first of a series, is number 21. Now clearly that last book is not going to win the first spin, which is numbers 1 through 20. So I'll take a little break and we'll see what won. All right, Rick McDonald on January 31st did Booktube Spin number 1, and it was the number 15 that won. So congratulations, Margaret Pennard's book, The Keening. You get to be added to my TBR for the month. That's awesome. All right, that means that The Elysian Prophecy becomes the new number 15. 100 Days of Sunlight will become the new number 16. Thief becomes the new number 17. Local Haunts becomes number 18. Escape Reality becomes 19. And Mad World becomes 20. For Booktube Spin number 2, which is coming up here in just a few days, you can go check out Rick McDonald's YouTube channel. He'll, I guess, post the spin on that day and we'll know what book to add to our own list for the month. Though he says you can take a couple of months, several months to read it. But that means as of right now, ending this video, I only know 7 of the 8 books that I have down for my TBR for the month, and then I guess we'll just figure out what the other one is here in a few days. This has been fun. Every day is a good day for a book talk. Peace.